All right, guys. Obviously, we didn't do enough to get the job done today. We give credit to Baltimore. It's a well-coached football team. They're very talented. They play very hard, and they present us with a number of issues that we had to start the game faster handling on all phases of the ball. I'm proud of the way our guys fought. We were able to make some adjustments in the second half and get some things going. We've got to get to that earlier as a staff and as players. And ultimately, we have to coach better. We have to play better. We have to make the plays in front of us. We have to make sure our guys are creating situations to, put our guys in a position of their strength. So all that being said, I'll open up to any questions you have.
Zach Rosenblatt, NJ.com.
Hey, Joe. As you mentioned, you guys obviously got off to a slow start, got in that early hole. The Ravens are running the ball pretty effectively. I guess, how did you feel about how your team came out energy-wise, and what went wrong, do you think, in the beginning there?
Yeah, there wasn't any issue in terms of energy or anything emotionally or mentally being ready. We just got to execute fundamentally better. That's the thing. We have to tackle better. We have to get off blocks better. We got to make sure we put the guys in the right call to help them, to give them some kind of an advantage to the scheme that we're seeing. Obviously they made some adjustments in their scheme going into this game to account for some of the things we did. We got to some different coverages and different fronts later in the game, slowed them down, gave our guys a better chance. But we've got to do some things earlier in the game as coaches and players to start faster. We knew going into the game this was a team that, first quarter was a big edge for them over all their opponents. We knew it was going to be a fast start type of game, and we've got to react better to that.
Pat Leonard, Daily News.
Hey, Joe, what do you attribute the poor tackling to? Do you think that the guys weren't in the right spots as far as adjustments that needed to be made, or was it poor technique, or, how did you account for that?
I think ultimately, that's something that's been a strength for us as a team this year. Our guys have really improved in tackling in space and inline short space tackles. So to be honest with you, that's surprising today to see that. We've got to do some things fundamentally better to make sure we make the tackles, keep our feet moving, keep our eyes up, wrap, and we have to do a better job coaching that throughout the week to make sure it doesn't show up on the game day.
And on offense, what do you think of Daniel, how he looked, how he played coming back?
Yeah, I think Daniel looked the way I expected him to look out there. He played confidently, didn't look hesitant with anything he did. Gave us a chance out there. I thought Daniel did a lot of nice things today. Ultimately, as a team, it wasn't enough. But in terms of how he moved around coming off the injury, I thought he looked better.
Boris Schwartz, New York Post.
Hey, Joe. Your team has lost 3 straight, down the stretch here. You have not talked about the playoffs at all, really much all season, unless asked about it. If you find out later today that your team is officially eliminated, will that change anything in your head about the job you've done, the job the team has done, and anything about this season?
No, our focus is on getting ready for the Cowboys next week. Again, we don't have any control over what happens in other teams and other games today. We had the ability to control our first 15 games. The results of those games are what matter. In terms of where this team is headed, what we've been able to accomplish this year in terms of the foundation, the culture, we've improved a lot of playing across the board, a lot of players, seen a lot of development from young guys and new guys in this program. So, no, the end result is what we're looking to get going in this program. I feel we're on the right track. We're moving in the right direction.
Thank you.
Jordan Rana, ESPN.
Hey, Joe. You played this 4-game stretch. This is like the end of the stretch where you played against winning teams. You won the first. You lost the last 3. You obviously had a backup quarterback in there for 2 of those. What did you learn about your team during this stretch?
Well, I think I learned a lot about our team in the early season stretch, Jordan. All right, when we were, 0-5 and 1-7, and you find out right then that you've got a team that comes to work every day and is committed to everybody as far as getting better collectively. I learned how mentally tough they were through that stretch. I learned how focused they were and committed to really getting this thing going in the direction we want. Am I not trying to take shortcuts but learn to do it the right way? So, look, the results of the last 3 games are what they are. We're paid to win games. That's what it is, professional football. We have to do a better job coaching, a better job playing. We have to do more things to help us win the games. But ultimately, in terms of the character of the team, the work ethic of the team, the toughness of the team, we've got the right start to who we're working with and the direction we're going right now. We just got to make sure we do more on the field to have tangible results.
Tom Rock, Newsday.
Joe, you mentioned a couple of times that you would have liked to have seen the changes to the scheme, I'm guessing defensively, come around a little bit earlier. Why didn't they?
No, I thought Pat did a good job getting to the scheme when he got to it and slowed them on down. There's some adjustments continuously throughout the first half. We changed up how we did some coverage on the back end, to tighten up on their receivers. We played a scheme early on to kind of handle a lot more of the run. I think Lamar came out and did a really good job throwing the ball. They were making some contested catches, but we wanted to tighten the windows up on them a little bit. We were letting up some easy receptions early on. And again, with this team, the focus is stop the run. Pat made some adjustments. We were able to slow them down a little bit offensively. And then we got to stay on the field a little bit longer offensively to go ahead and help the defense out in the back end. We have to play good complementary football. All three phases have to play together.
And then, what was your take on the when they picked up the flag there late in the first half? Obviously, you guys were really hungry for a touchdown there.
On the talking about the pass interference call right there.
Yeah, and they picked it up.
I mean, look, it was what it was. They explained it. We're not going to go ahead and have any kind of courtroom on the field and change what it was. So we went out there, we kicked the field goal, took the points. We had to move on right there. But they saw what they saw, and I'll watch the tape and see if I see it any differently.
We'll take two more. Matt Lombardo, Ed Valentine. Matt Lombardo, fan-sided.
Hey, Joe, it seemed like on the two touchdowns, the one to Des Bryant and the one to Marquise Brown, they were pretty wide open in the back of the end zone. What happened there? Was it just miscommunication? Did they find a soft spot in his own?
Yeah, I think anytime that someone's that wide open. Yeah, anytime someone's that wide open, there's obviously some kind of breakdown, within the scheme. We got to make sure we do a better job getting 11 guys playing on the same page. There's never one guy there. It's easy to go ahead, and look back at the tape and try to circle someone without having all the information of what the call was, what the scheme was, what the communication pre-snap may have been. We got to take a look at that and make sure that, we don't ever have that happen again. It's not something we've had a lot this year. Our guys done a really good job communicating and playing ahead. We had it twice today. That's something we have to eliminate. It's tough to stop any team when you let guys just run free. So we have to eliminate that.
Last one here, Ed Valentine, Big Blue View.
Hey, Joe, you talk so much about progress, but, you guys have lost 3 straight. You've been outscored 73-26 in those 3 games. How do you make an argument at this point that you're still making week-to-week progress?
Yeah, I don't have to make an argument on that, Ed. I can turn the tape on every week. I can watch with my players. I can see what we improve on every week. I can see what we're deficient in, what we have to improve on that week, and put the focus on the next opponent coming up. So, again, look, I'm not trying to make an argument for anything. The tape really tells the truth. Our guys are, big believers on watching what's on tape and addressing what we have to internally and moving forward by working hard.
Or Schwartz, New York Post.
Hey, Daniel. How frustrating was it with the start? Not a start you guys wanted at all. And number 2, you only ran the ball once late in the game when you had to. How did your legs feel? Did you feel confident if you needed to run, you could?
Yeah, we didn't start the game like we needed to, and shot ourselves in the foot there early to, on a couple plays, weren't able to convert third downs, and that hurt us, put us behind, dug a little hole for us. So, yeah, we got to look at that stuff, got to clean it up. Makes it tough, when you put yourself in that position. Health-wise, I feel good. I feel I feel a lot better, and I'll continue to work on that and continue to progress.
Thank you. Logan Ryan, ESPN.
Hey, Daniel. The second half there, they really seemed to turn up the pressure, got a bunch of sacks, a lot of hits on you. What changed there? What did they do? Was it them doing something different, or you guys not executing?
Yeah, they deserve credit. They were, they were pressuring and found different ways to bring it. So, I got to do a better job seeing it and getting the ball out in a lot of those situations, where they're exposed in the back end and in coverage. So we'll look at that and learn from it. And I certainly have to do a better job there.
And how do you feel coming out of the game?
I feel good.
Scott Leonard, Daily News.
Hey, Daniel, after a game like this and a stretch of 3 losses like this, when you think about this whole season, we don't know what's going to happen this afternoon, but if you guys end up getting eliminated from the playoffs, can you look at this season and say you've seen significant progress from yourself and the team coming off of a tough loss like this?
Yeah, I think, we're certainly not, there's no moral victories, and to not get the result is disappointing, and by no means is anyone okay with that, but there are things that, positives we can take from today, positives we can take from, where we've improved throughout the season as an offense, and as a team. So, we'll continue to look at those things. We'll continue to study ourselves and learn what we still need to improve on. But I think throughout this season, this team has improved week to week.
We'll take two more. Ryan Dunleavy, Jim Williams, Ryan Dunleavy, New York Post.
Daniel, back to what Jordan was asking about the pressure they were bringing. There was one series where you were sacked 3 straight plays, where they were bringing it off the edge. Were you and Gates or whoever back there not identifying the unblocked blitzers? You said you have to get it out quickly, but you would have had to get it out in like half a second there.
Just got to do a better job with all that stuff, identifying it and getting the ball out quickly.
How much of that has to do with the score, Daniel? I mean, it reminded me of the Cardinals game when you're down big. Obviously, teams with the slow start you guys got off to, when you're down big, obviously teams are going to bring more pressure.
Yeah, they know we have to throw it in those situations, and they're either going to play coverage or pressure you. So you got to do a better job handling it and getting the ball out.
Last one here, Jim Williams, Fox 5.
Hey, Daniel, you said that you're feeling better. How close to 100% would you say you're feeling? Can you gauge that? And then also, how confident did you feel if you needed to run the ball with your running ability?
I don't know. I'm not sure I have a percentage, but I do feel a lot better. And like I said, I'll continue to work through it, continue to work with the trainers, with the doctors, and do what I'm told, and work as hard as I can to continue to improve. So I feel good. I felt like I could move. I could, get out of the pocket and do what I needed to do. So certainly felt good about that.
Hey, Shep, thanks for doing this. How ticked off does it make you that it takes really until the fourth quarter for you guys, to play the way that you want in a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. I mean, we got to get off to a better start. We're not the type of team that can afford to get off to that type of start, especially against a good team like Baltimore. Got to figure out what it is, and be able to get into a better groove and early next week.
When you play a game like this against a team that might be headed to the playoffs and it goes this way, does it reflect to you how far or close your team is from being what you want to be? Like, do you think of it that way, or how do you evaluate it when you get this kind of result?
No, I mean, I just think it's some simple things that we have to correct. I mean, you look at the first drive, little things like jumping off sides, it puts us in a bad position. Those type of things are just mental errors. It's nothing that the opposing team did. It was something that we did to ourselves. So I just look at it like we got to get into the room and correct those things.
Matt Lombardo, FanSided.
Hey, Shep. You guys got on a plane leaving Seattle in first place in the division, controlling your own destiny. 3 straight losses, and your touchdown was the first one in like 9 quarters. What's the frustration level, and how do you guys bounce back from something like this?
I really wasn't frustrated, and neither were the guys on the offense. I mean, we got the group of guys that are going to keep pounding no matter what's going on. And that's what I love about this team, and that's what I love about this offensive unit is guys are going to keep on working. And as you can see it towards the end of the game, I mean, we were still pounding, trying to put a point on the board. So, I'm proud of the guys and the way that they finished the game.
Jordan Rana, ESPN.
Hey, Shep. How much are you going to keep an eye on these games this afternoon?
We can only control what we can control. And our focus is on Dallas right now, so that's where my focus will be immediately.
And why do you think? I mean, I don't think you had a play of over 20 yards today offensively. Why has it been such a struggle to get those big plays?
That's just the way the cards are dealt. We can't control what coverage they're in and when they're going to be in it. So, I had one today I should have taken deep, and I hooked it up. So that was my chance to go deep.
You're talking about the one where he threw the ball deep and
yeah.
There was no, and you didn't. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, that's my fault. I
gotta go deep. First half.
I gotta go deep on that one. It was cover 0, I believe. So, that's my fault.
Bob Lauber, Newsday.
Sterling, Joe Judge was saying a couple of minutes ago that he believes the foundation is getting there for this team. The culture change is is there, and he thinks up moving forward, this team will be okay. Do you agree with that, and if so, why?
Oh, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, we got guys that are going to fight, and we're going to fight to the end. It doesn't matter what the scoreboard looks like. It doesn't matter how we played previously. We got guys that are going to keep on pounding and that are chomping at the bit to be out there and playing football. So when you have a group of guys like that and a close-knit group like we have, you can only think that things are going to be on the up from here. So like I said, we just got to keep on pounding, and we're focused on Dallas and next week.
And just one follow on that, like after the Seattle game, someone had told you you were just going to lose 3 straight and just not be in those games for the most part. Would that have surprised you? I mean, this team was really on a roll at that point, and it just kind of fizzled.
Yeah, but that's the way this game goes. I mean, this is the NFL, man. It's any given Sunday. You know what I mean? So you never know what's going to happen. You just got to prepare and go out there. And you know, unfortunately, that's not the way that things worked out. We weren't able to get these last 3.
We'll take 2 more. Tom Rock, Ryan Bailey. Tom Rock.
Jeff, did these last 3 games show you how far away you are from being a playoff contender?
I mean, games are always going to show you what you need to correct, and that's what we do. We get into the lab on Monday, and we try to correct those things that we didn't do so hot on the previous week. So, you know, you're going to learn. You're going to learn week to week what you need to do.
How about just in terms of the caliber of opposition that you faced in the last 3 weeks? Does that show you? You know, you played 3 teams that you know are fighting for playoff spots. You guys are fighting for one in a division.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good look for all the guys to be able to play against those caliber teams, and you know, we got to play better. That's the bottom line.
Thank you.
Last one here, Ryan Bailey.
Shep, logistically, how did it work to have a coach calling plays who wasn't at practice all week? Were there any challenges there?
No challenges at all. I mean, we had Zoom meetings. Coach Garrett was with us, you know, just like he was whenever he was able to be in the room. So it was nothing thrown off about that.
Zach Rosenblatt, NJ.com.
Hey, Logan. Obviously, stopping the run has been a strength for you guys this season. I know Lamar Jackson's obviously a unique challenge, but what do you think wasn't working, especially in the beginning of the game there? And in the first quarter, it seemed like they were really running down your throats.
Playing Baltimore, like you said, you can't really mirror Lamar Jackson. It's something you got to get adjusted to in the game. And they did a good job of keeping their third downs manageable, you know, rushing for 4 or 5 at a time, keeping it 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. They have their run available. They have their pass available. And they get to the red area, and you got to hold Baltimore, who's known to move the ball, known to rush the ball really well. They have a high rushing average. And, you know, we got to hold them to field goals, get the turnovers, the plays to get them off rhythm. And we didn't get that. We didn't make those turnovers early enough. We weren't good enough in the red area to make it 3-0, 6-0 or whatever. But, you know, when you have a running quarterback like Lamar Jackson and they're committing 11 guys to run the ball, their fullback's 300 pounds. I mean, they're going to move the ball a bit, but you just got to manage those situations like I keep talking about. So running down our throats, I mean, that's what the stats may say, but guys are out there banging today. Guys are out there finishing. Call it what you want to call it. Until you put the pads on and really understand the physicality of the game, I think we fought to the end.
Paul Schwartz, New York Post.
Hey, Logan. You guys have lost 3 straight now, all against good teams, you know, by fairly wide margins. If things don't go your way now and the game's played now and you are eliminated from the playoffs, will you think differently about this team than you would if you were still alive in Week 17?
Never. You know, I don't let results dictate my personality. I don't let results dictate the character of the team. You may lose on the scoreboard. That don't make you a loser in life. This team is hard fought. This team's blue collar. We've been at the beginning. This team's been through lows and came back, had wins, and then had a loss after that, and then had another loss or whatever it may be. But this team came out and fight. I mean, credit to Baltimore. They were good today. We know they were good. We came in their stadium and they're good. They win here a lot and they won today. But to allow a result of a football game dictate what I think about my teammates. I guess you weren't watching us on the 4th quarter, the last drive there when we're scratching and clawing, get a goal line stand. So I think we're fighters, and we'll fight to the end regardless of the scoreboard. And that's what I'm here for. That's what the Giants brought me back to do, and I got my head held high because I know what I lay on the line for my teammates.
Bob Glauber, Newsday.
Logan, Joe Judge was talking earlier about the culture being set here, and he feels good about that. You are now signed up 3 more years for that culture. You agree with that? Why? And how do you feel about signing that new contract?
I feel extremely grateful and blessed. I've been through quite a journey of ups and downs this last year, as many people have in 2020, and it definitely hit my personal family hard, my wife. Rocky road there, not being signed for a minute. But, you know, I found a newfound belief in myself, my belief in myself as a player, as a leader, and I believe the organization believed in me as well. And, you know, I wouldn't sign a deal 2 weeks before free agency if I didn't believe in this organization. I believe in the culture set. I believe in the work ethic we put in each and every day. And like I say, you don't always get the result, but you really see people's true character when they put their all into something and they don't win, how they come back to work the next day. That's how I really figure out who should be around me in life when times are going up and times are going down. And I come after losses and I have the same 5 text messages from the same 5 people. That's how I really know who's around me in life and who really matters. And I think that we got some good pieces here to build off of. I think Joe sets a demanding culture to do things the right way, and you do them even when you lose, and you keep doing them, and one day the wins come your way. And we've had a taste of that this year. And we got everything to play for next week, playing the Dallas Cowboys. And I don't think you're going to see this team pack it in by any means, not if I'm on the field.
We'll take 2 more. Jordan Rana, Tom Rock, Jordan Rana, ESPN.
Hey, Logan. You talked about the foundation being here, that it's already laid. What do you say to the idea that these last 3 games show you how much growth you still have to make in order to get where you want to be?
I think executionally there's always growth. There's learning from every game, and every game's its own game. I mean, the Cleveland, Baltimore presented different challenges than Cleveland. Every game is different, and there's different things in each game plan that you need to execute in order to win. And I believe at the level that we're at, to be a professional, to be a winning professional at this level, I think foundationally you need to have a chance organizationally. And I think there's a great organization here. I think we have great support. I think we have a great fan base that cares, that's very demanding, a culture, a coaching staff that gives us a great chance to win. So I do believe we have that. I believe we have a great toughness and resolve to us to come back regardless of what the fans may say, what the media may say, from win or loss to go into the next game. So I do believe that. I think the next step is to execute at the highest level against MVPs like Lamar Jackson, some of these top-tier quarterbacks, which we played a lot on this year. When we executed against them, we looked pretty good. When we didn't execute, they looked like they got their averages. They looked like what made them really good quarterbacks. So I think the execution is always something you can improve. But when we talk about culture and attitudes and wins and losses and foundations, I think those things can be set daily with how you practice, how you come to work. And I think that's being set by Joe Judge. That's what I believe in. That's why I believe the future's bright here. Execution-wise, we can always get better. We can always clean that up.
And also, how much did this deal, take us through, the deal? Did it just pop up? Is it something you guys been working on for a while?
It got done fairly quickly. The organization asked me if I wanted to be here. I said yes. And they talked to my agent, Joel Siegel, who I believe is the best in the business, and he got it done quickly. And I think it was a good deal for both sides. And I had a lot of things in my career. I've had some Super Bowl rings, a lot of big games, 15 playoff games in my career. Been the highly favorite for 4 years in New England, been the underdog role in Tennessee. But I haven't always felt appreciated by the organization for whatever I did for that year. And I think the Giants really appreciate me for not even just being the player I am on the field, but I think they appreciate what I bring off the field. I think they appreciate what I do in the community. I think they appreciate my wife and I, our family, our struggles, our successes, and I think they appreciate the leadership I bring for the team. So that feeling of appreciation is what we all look for in life, regardless of money, and that's something I felt special here and something I wanted to continue to feel, and I wanted to pay that back to the organization by committing here as long as I did.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Last one here, Tom Rock, Newsday.
Logan, they had a couple of touchdown passes to guys who were wide open. Why in Week 16 with the pretty much the same personnel you've had in the secondary all year. Were there breakdowns there?
I think they're schematically. I think they're good play calls. I mean, they put a stress on our defense. I mean, they're running the ball really well. Sometimes you call calls to stop the run, and they have a pass that puts you in a tough position. That's what makes the Ravens a good offense, is when they're running and throwing. So ideally, you want them to play left-handed. You want them to take away one thing so you can get a grips on it. But sometimes in football, there's a good call they had a good call, and it puts us in a tough position. And it's something that we need to be prepared for, and which we are. It's something we need to play better. So hats off to them. I mean, when you're loading the box up, as you do it puts a stress in the pass game, and that's what they're able to do. And you tip your hat to it, and you watch film, and you improve.
Hey, Dexter, obviously you guys had done a really good job of stopping the run all season. I know Lamar Jackson's a unique challenge, obviously, but what do you think it was that they were able to come out and run on you guys like they did, especially in that first quarter?
They just had the better hand this game, hitting the edges real hard. We didn't do a good job setting the edge, and they took advantage of that.
How demoralizing is it, after you guys had that 4-game winning streak and you're feeling pretty good, and then these last 3 games haven't even been particularly close? Like, what's like the mood of the locker room right now, I guess?
The locker room is great. It's just one thing, having those wins and not settling. We have to stay hungry, and we got to keep going and get it, and we got to just know that everything, like, the next games aren't promised. We're not going to just win because we've been winning. We got to go earn it, and make the plays to win.
New York Post.
Dex, was there any struggles there at times identifying who had the ball? I'm not just talking.
I can't hear you, sir.
Sorry, Dex. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I was saying, was there any trouble for you or anyone on the defense identifying who had the ball there on those read option keepers? Sometimes it can be tricky to figure out if Lamar handed it off or not.
I wouldn't say that. We just was at a gap, and they found a way to get there, and we didn't do the best job tackling or being in our gap and being disciplined. And I mean, they were the better team today, and we got to live with that.
Those first 2 drives, did you feel like that set a tone for the game and the physicality? I mean, you're down 14-0 real quick.
No, that happens in the game. It's all about how you come back off of that, and I think we responded really well as a defense, and we held them to only a few more points after that. So, I mean, they came out strong, but it's all about the finish, and I think we finished pretty well.
Logan Ryan on ESPN.
Hey, what's going on, Dex? What was the goal against Lamar, and how different was it than other quarterbacks?
We knew that he liked to get to the edge, and he wasn't a slider, that he wanted to keep running. So our plan was just to keep him in the box, contain him, and tackle him.
It seemed like you guys you had like a different formation almost. You had your sort of inside linebackers kind of playing on the outside. Did that change anything for you guys in the interior at all?
No, up front is whoop ass and let the linebackers flow, and that's what we do up front. And I mean, we had to find a way to slow him down, and we didn't do the best job of doing that today.
We'll take one more. Traveling Daily News.
Dex, are you guys embarrassed by how this first half especially went as a defense? I mean, 249 rushing yards is really contrary to what you guys have made an identity.
Yeah, that's not us. We're not embarrassed. As just what we put on tape today for the first half, and we don't accept that. We got to come back and correct that, see what was going on, watch the tape, and fix it for the next game.